Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we are here at the beautiful Napoli's Pizza, located at 1118 Washington Street. We are at their uptown location, and of course, they have a downtown location at 133 Clinton Street, all in the beautiful city of Hoboken, New Jersey. And speaking of beautiful, because she hasn't been on for a while, and that is our That's right, I'm hitting on you tonight.
I didn't really
I'm hitting on you
going.
tonight, let me tell you. And that is our Places Insider, Krista Stucchio of hashtag Food Pick. Krista, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
I know. And folks, don't be alarmed. Desiree Perez, unfortunately, is away these next few weeks. So you're stuck with Peter. Krista is stuck with Peter as well.
Sorry
about
Peter
that.
again.
I know. We're going
It's
back
like
to
old times.
I was going to say.
It's like, what, 4 years ago?
Oh, my goodness. She only knew that because she asked me before the segment started, how long have I been doing the show?
I never remember.
Exactly. All right. Napoli's Pizza. What do you love about Napoli's?
Literally everything. I feel like everyone always thinks about Napoli's for pizza, but we're not having any pizza today. And I love that because there's so much going on the menu. So, I mean, I literally don't think I've ever had a bad thing at Napoli's.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's been delicious. We have
is
no
fantastic.
pasta here today, but they have great pasta. But yeah, we've got some good things in front of us.
We might have some pasta next week when we'll be back here with Krista discussing more dishes. But why don't we talk about the dishes we have in front of you? And why don't we start with the dish that is a perfect appetizer at any type of pizzeria, which of course is the mussels marinara.
Fluffy mussels.
The thought, oh, we're getting joysy.
Fluffy.
We're getting joysy
Look
here
at how
today.
beautiful it is. I don't even want to touch it.
Well, you have to touch it because you have to try it.
I'm gonna try to be a little prop. Are you gonna eat this with me?
You damn right.
Are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
do the
eat this.
thing where I eat alone? It's
No,
weird
I
like
have
that.
my hands folded.
All right, well, I'm
But,
gonna,
ladies first. Come on now.
I'm gonna do this with my hands.
Oh, she's doing it
Who
with her
am
hands.
I kidding?
Who are you kidding? All right,
All right,
you're
I'm
going to
gonna
dig
take
in.
a few.
I got to tell you. Here,
All
you want an honest opinion from me?
Okay.
Mussels is one of my favorite dishes in the whole wide world.
Really?
Give it to
That's
me.
pretty like. I would not expect that of you.
What? Why? Because I'm a picky eater?
Yeah, you're a picky eater.
Oh, but seafood, mussels?
Oh, God.
Okay, talk to me.
It's so good.
I'm
The
digging
sauce is like, it's so sweet, but it's not too sweet. And there is a slight kick,
in. Okay.
which is good for me because I don't like spicy. So I think that's like a perfect amount of spice for me.
That is delicious.
It's so good.
That hit the spot.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, you know the mussel's very fresh when it just comes like right out of the shell.
Oh, yeah. Barely have to do any work here.
Like, look how pretty you're right.
I know. It's stunning.
Yeah, I know. They
Are
put the
these
little
like
basil.
ranked among, I mean, it's right next to your parents' shop. How do,
She's giving a plug to Biancamanos. Yes, Napoli's has been very, very good neighbors of my parents. My parents have been here 41 years. Napoli's, this location, I believe, opened in 2008, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
So
2008. No one ever says it
well,
like that.
I just said it, okay? Peter B just started a new trend. All right. Give me a ranking on the mussels out of 10.
Make me rank.
Damn right I am. I haven't been doing this a lot.
I'm going to say 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
They're coming right out. They're so, look, you even got some buttery bread here.
Talk about it. Yeah. Well,
Here you go. I'm breaking bread with you.
oh no, I won't eat the bread.
Why
That's
not?
a lot of carbs.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that.
I know,
But
I know.
You need the bread to soak up the sauce and the garlic. Come on.
I still kept having
Carbs are
trouble
the best
finding a
part.
napkin over here. Oh, it's over here. Sorry about that. All right, we do have to move on to
All
our
right,
second
moving
dish.
on. We're moving on.
All right.
right.
And by the way, okay, so the bread dipped into sauce, fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right. So
Bread's
why
so
don't
good.
we go with another staple
Okay.
of appetizers in a pizzeria, which of course is a traditional rice ball,
I
right?
love a rice ball.
Exactly. We have fans yelling at us. That's right.
What do you think of the Napoli's rice ball?
Oh, look at that. Oh, he walked away.
All right, well,
he
I'm
didn't
gonna,
want to
I'm
answer
gonna do
your
a nice
question.
Little,
Oh, man. I think
nice
it was
little
my
cut.
fan, not yours. Sorry.
someone got to zoom in on this.
Don't worry about it. Come on.
Just got to
Well,
make sure.
Dylan, she is telling you how to do your job, Dylan. Unbelievable.
I'm
Dylan
just
is our
prepared,
fabulous editor.
Look at this.
I mean,
Look
yeah.
at this.
Oh, that is.
Put some extra sauce and cheese on there. You want to get in there?
No, I'm actually going to pass on the rice
You're going
balls
to pass on the rice
I
balls?
know. I'm a pathetic Italian.
I'm going to try
Let's
not
just
to
be,
ask
you know.
questions. Okay.
Man.
Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I love the peas in a rice ball.
I mean, you know,
Picky
when
eater over
usually,
here is probably like,
yeah, hold on, I had to put my water down and fix my glasses after that one. You know, usually when a person says, I love rice balls, they're like, man, those peas are great. But obviously, Krista does.
I love peas. So
I do too. I'm a big pea
I'm
fan.
actually obsessed with rice, and like obviously, like who doesn't love fried food? So
Mm.
you know, you got the rice, you got the cheese, you got the crispy outside, but the peas are just one of my favorite vegetables, so it just makes it so much better.
Incredible. So, you know, and rice balls, you know, I feel like rice balls isn't a dish that many of the pizzerias in Hoboken serve. I mean, am I right or wrong on that?
I was just at Leo's recently.
Okay.
Ate a rice ball there, but it was I think it was a special. So I feel like it's
So-
more the old school Italian that has the rice balls going on.
And Napoli's does.
Yeah.
And is this just top of the line?
It really is top of the line.
10 out of 10 again?
Oh yeah, perfect inside, perfect crispy outside.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, we had 2 appetizers, as we like to say. I'm a person
Yeah.
that loves to film myself on apps, though. Like,
Yeah, no,
I can
apps
go
are
to a
great.
restaurant, just order apps, and that's it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we do have an entree, which is a little different than you would see at a pizzeria. And this is their California chicken wrap.
Yes.
And the reason why we have this is because, as Krista said in the beginning of the segment, Napoli's likes to showcase a lot of different things on the menu, and they do a lot of different things that they do well.
Oh yeah, they have honestly a really great like sandwich and wrap menu. This one's the California
Correct.
wrap.
California
so,
chicken wrap. Yep.
Yeah, we've got some lettuce and tomato and chicken and avocado. I'm
Okay.
blanking on the dressing, but I'm sure I'll figure that out.
It's I believe it's a chipotle dressing in there. Yeah, you gotta
and
do the little.
they do well with the chipotle over there too.
They do because they
put
put
it
on
on
their
pizza. Also, I ate a fry before we started.
A fry that was
Peter
shaped.
made me do it.
Yeah.
They have amazing fries. I think of these fries as like a comfort fry. I don't know how else to explain that, but it just
Oh.
is.
It's
I
like
don't know.
very. As you can see, it's a little hot out here on a napkin is sticking to my arm. It's like seasoned very well. It's like a
Yeah.
comfort fry.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you said.
See, he's
Yeah.
gonna start calling them comfort fries.
Well, she also took a fry before the segment started and tried to put it back in a plate.
it looked like a smile. It was cute.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. Dig in.
Are you gonna eat one with me?
No.
You're gonna skip this too.
I'm going to skip that.
I'm gonna eat by myself.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna
no,
take
listen,
this bite
I mean-
by myself.
You are the foodie here, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a nice big bite. I like that. Well, I told her that mussels were one of my favorite dishes in the world. And what did she do? She put it on the opposite side of the table.
It's so you try more things.
Ah! Wow.
Like your mother.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. All right. I was going
that
to
was
say
the
my
perfect
younger
bite,
sister.
by the way. There's bacon in
Talk
here.
to me.
I didn't even realize there was bacon. So
Come on now.
yeah, we got bacon. I didn't see it at first,
All
but
right. Talk to me about it.
I love the sauce. That's my favorite part. Chicken, perfectly cooked. You never want to get a weird piece of chicken. That never happens at Napoli's. You know what I mean by weird piece of chicken? Come on, you know. You
Yeah,
make it,
like
it's just like you're
one that's
like, all right.
undercooked, one that's
No,
keeping
no.
quality. Right.
This is quality chicken, and everything's very it's very balanced. We've got a nice mix of vegetables and meat going on in here, and I'm happy with the amount of sauce.
I love that. 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Wow.
We're doing really well over
We're
here.
doing really, really
Yeah.
well. Well, you have to get to Napoli's Pizza. We are out of time, Krista.
All right.
Krista Stucchio of @#foodpick. She's giving 10 out of 10s out like they're going out of style here today. But when the food is good, why lie, right?
Not lying over here.
Exactly. So we will be back next week to try more food. You said when I texted
naps.
you about this segment, you were like, love naps.
I love naps. I call it
That's
naps.
the nickname for Napoli's,
It is.
apparently. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Are you going to come back next week for more?
Yeah.
You sure? Mm-hmm. All right. I absolutely
Give me
love
all the
that.
naps.
Exactly. Thank you for joining. Make sure you follow her again at #foodpick. Thanks.
Thanks.
All righty. All right, folks. More of the Pulse with Peter B. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B. and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. And now that the food is out of here, and unfortunately Krista's gone, Krista, we love you, and we'll see you on next week's show. We do have a person who's, of course, very familiar to all of the audience at home, and that is our pro wrestling insider, Mr. Rob Tonnesen, wearing a hat that he purchased for 50 cents at the Sports Authority because nobody cares about the New Jersey Devils. They are the least popular team in this area, but yet Rob is one of their only fans.
How'd the playoff series go?
Moving on. Rob, we are already in mid-July over here. Can you believe it? Time is flying. And what Rob likes to talk about every year is kind of like an end-of-year review in the pro wrestling circuits. But now we're going to do a little bit of a mid-year review. You asked for it, we delivered. We love doing that here on the Pulse with Peter B. Rob, why don't we start with the E, as they call it,
Absolutely.
the WWE.
Yes.
A little bit of a mid-year review. And why don't we begin with the Bloodline? They finally have separated. There's infighting going on. Does this mean that Roman Reigns is finally going to lose the title?
Oh boy, that's an interesting question. So the Bloodline has been a fantastic story that has been going on really now for, let's just say, the better part of almost 3 years. And for it to build like that is really something that's been enjoyable to see. Roman Reigns has been the guy. So everything that has been on SmackDown, everything that's been really promoting has been for Roman Reigns. Does that mean he's going to lose the title? Probably not. Wow. For a while, at least, I would say. And it's just been really one of those storylines where everybody kind of says it's this idea of, oh, this is cinema. Does it have that cinema quality? No, but it's good storyline telling, and that's really all you want when you watch this wacky world. You want good storytelling, and that's what this has provided.
And we spoke about this before, but I do want to move on to Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Of course, he had that awesome entrance.
Yes.
At, what was the pay-per-view? It's slipping my mind.
It was Backlash.
Backlash. Of course, he was in his home island of Puerto Rico,
Yes.
and he comes out, and that's probably one of the loudest pops of any sports entertainer in what, years, right?
I would say probably since Cena came back at Money in the Bank 2022.
Exactly.
But Bad Bunny has been really the celebrity influence, and I've been on the show many times talking about the celebrity influence in WWE. And Logan Paul is Logan Paul. He's got his program with Ricochet coming up now. Fine, good for him. But what Bad Bunny has done is really transformed and revitalized an island where they want to go back again and they want to involve him more. I'd love to see him more.
Why not give him
involved.
millions of dollars to do so? The return of investment is going to be unbelievable.
That's really what they're trying to do. I mean, look at what happened from Backlash. Carlito ended up getting a job from that
Right.
appearance.
That's right. And let's talk about Cody Rhodes. Of course, he makes his surprise appearance. Was that the Royal Rumble or was this last year?
He returned at the Royal Rumble from his bicep injury.
Exactly. Do you feel that his steam is still going strong, though? I feel like he's kind of come down a few notches.
Come down a few notches, sure, but he's still moving merchandise. He's still
Good point.
producing what they want. And at the end of the day, you really kind of look at Cody Rhodes for the long term. If anybody's gonna beat Roman, it's gonna be Cody, and we just got to get back to that point in the storytelling.
Absolutely, and I think that they're taking a little bit of a break from that with, of course, Roman's feud with the Bloodline. Really quickly, on next week's show, we're going to be talking about SummerSlam, so you're not going to want to miss that. But let's really talk about Chicago. The next Chicago pay-per-view, which of course is Survivor Series, which is the next big marquee premium live event that the WWE does in November.
Yes, if you consider tentpole pay-per-view premium live events, you have the Royal Rumble in January, you have WrestleMania in April, you have SummerSlam in August, and then you have Survivor Series in November, and it is Thanksgiving week, which is funny because they're going to do Friday. The Black Friday is SmackDown, and then it's going to be Saturday Survivor Series, and then Monday Raw, all in Chicago. But Thanksgiving week has also become AEW in Chicago. So AEW's running a live Dynamite in Chicago the day before Thanksgiving. Everybody is off Thanksgiving, and then head-to-head in Chicago is going to be a live SmackDown and a live taping of AEW Rampage in
Pro
Chicago.
wrestling's dream, right, Rob? We do have to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we want to talk about a mid-year review of All Elite Wrestling. Don't go anywhere, okay?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, folks, we will be right back.
Welcome to Hudson River Care and Counseling. Hello, I'm Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis, the CEO and founder of Hudson River Care and Counseling with over 30 years of clinical social work experience and therapy. We are a progressive counseling and coaching practice with a diverse team that brings a holistic approach to clients. We offer support both in person and through digital platforms such as telehealth. Consider us a safe haven that you can trust with care for your mental health needs. Visit our website to set up a consultation today.
Welcome back to the Pulse of Peter B. And as promised, we are still here with our pro wrestling insider, Mr. Rob Tonnesen, still wearing that crappy hat. Rob, did you miss me during a commercial break?
Yes, as much as a Rangers free agent misses the net.
Oh, wow. All right. We got to get going on continuing our mid-year review. We teased it before the commercial break. Let's talk about AEW and kind of a mid-year review about them. And let's start with Forbidden Door.
Yeah. Forbidden Door is what they label as a love letter to pro wrestling. It is a combination of New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW. And that was about a month ago now, and as a wrestling fan, it was so much fun because you had probably the match of the year in, for my opinion, Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. You had a fantastic rematch of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, and just that idea of let's just have fun dream matches, like you and I would always sit in high school and just kind of say,
Absolutely.
oh, wouldn't it be fun if this person wrestled this person? That's what Forbidden Door is.
Unbelievable. And let's talk about CM Punk. I
Yes.
know he's your favorite wrestler of all time, but he's kind of in a downward spiral, I believe,
Is
in
he
his
now?
career. Well, listen, I know you're a little biased about him, but I mean, the guy just everywhere he goes starts trouble.
Does he start trouble or does he speak honest? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Because
Okay, that's a fair point.
Listen, we could spend 5 segments talking about everything backstage with CM Punk. He came back from injury, and if you don't follow the backstage information and what's going on backstage, he was just away from injury and came back. That's so if you don't follow the dirt sheets, you don't follow wrestling Twitter, he just went away from an injury. That's all.
Right.
So Pepsi Man CM Punk is back.
Pepsi Man.
He has AEW Collision, which is now their new Saturday night show, which is having a taping in Newark. So, and it's a wrestling show where Dynamite is more the sports entertainment. Let the Young Bucks, let Kenny Omega, let them do their thing. Collision with CM Punk is more the meat and potatoes. Let's just wrestle.
And let's look ahead a little on, because we don't want to spend too much time on CM Punk here, on AEW. Let's talk about Wembley Stadium, and let's talk about Fight Forever. Are you looking forward to both of those?
Okay, so All In is going to be their Wembley Stadium show, which is, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people in AEW love Bret Hart.
Oh,
so
I did not know that.
They're going to go to Wembley Stadium on the 30th anniversary from SummerSlam '93, the Bret Hart Davey Boy Smith match. So they've already sold 75,000 tickets without even announcing a single match. So
Wow.
it's already the most attended wrestling event since WrestleMania 32, and it is on its way to being the highest grossing wrestling show in England, period. AEW Fight Forever, their new video game just released, and for those of you that are video game fans, and if you remember the N64, they say this is the exact follow-up to WWF No Mercy, which came out back in the day.
That is unbelievable. I bet your videographer and our production assistant don't remember the N64 as they shake their heads behind the camera, right or wrong?
Exactly.
All right, I wanted to go back to the Screen Actors Guild because
Yes.
we forgot to talk about this in the last segment. Talk to me about it.
Okay, so the Hollywood writer and actor strike, that might affect pro wrestling a lot more than people think, because if nobody's writing, if nobody's acting, you're looking to fill up a schedule. So Warner Brothers Discovery, so NBC Universal might turn to WWE, might turn to AEW and say,
To pick up their writers?
No,
Oh.
to produce television for them, because when the writer's strike happened back in 2007, what filled the void? A lot of reality television. So the reality television that's on TV today is a result of the writer's strike. What's going to happen as a result of this writer's strike and this screen strike? Warner Brothers is already looking to AEW to fill some of their programming. NBC Universal might turn to WWE and say the same thing.
That is incredible. So stay tuned for that, folks. Well, Rob Tonnesen always giving us the lowdown on all things professional wrestling. We really appreciate you coming on this week.
Thank you much for having me.
Exactly. And we'll see you next week for the preview of course, the biggest celebration of the summer. Is that what they call it?
Biggest party of the summer.
Biggest party of the summer. Sorry, I forgot. I used a synonym. My apologies. So, all right. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
We really will. All right, folks. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back in the host chair and back at the beautiful offices of Hudson River Care and Counseling, located at 310 Cedar Lane in Teaneck, New Jersey, and 63A 8th Street in the beautiful city of Hoboken, New Jersey. And I am going to shoot it out right to our guest host today, and that is Yudy Cid, who's been on the program before. She's joined by another team member at Hudson River Care and Counseling, Soo Kim. Yudy, take it away.
Thank you, Peter. I'm so delighted to share this time in our lives with you, where we are actually making history, because we're now focusing on the minority mental health. Yes, you probably heard a lot in the news, everywhere. It has become a mainstream topic, mental health, but now you're going to hear it from us, from the minority mental health. And with me is Soo. He is a clinician here at a student clinician rather, here at Hudson River Care and Counseling Center. And he is completing his master's in marriage and
family therapy.
That's right. And I am Yudy Cid. I had been a coach for more than 10-year life coach. And during the pandemic, I said, I want to focus and give out more. I realized so many of the issues that my community, I'm from the Latino community, faces. And I decided I want to give more and expand. And I am here serving as a clinician at Hudson River Care and Counseling Center. And I'm so happy that we have a diverse group, and this is part of it. Yeah. Thank you, Sue, for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And so you focus, why out of all the focuses on mental health, why you picked family and couples?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I grew up in a Korean American household, being from an immigrant household where my parents are first generation Korean immigrants. And then, growing up in the States, clearly there's a distance. Distance not just in our age, but also our culture, our background, as well as the things that we were comfortable speaking about in the household. And just recognizing that most like my experience is unique, but still also most likely relatable to a lot of different Asian American households. Sure. Where the children in the second generation, they have a bit of a distance with their parents. And when it comes to the topic of therapy or counseling, or when it comes to just speaking about issues within mental health, there hasn't been much familiarity or comfort for someone in the younger generation to bring that up towards their parents. And recognizing that, wow, if I grew up with this, and then hearing from my friends that they also had this kind of experience, I recognize that we need to make this more of a commonplace thing so that we can talk about counseling, therapy, we can talk about mental health, and not it be stigmatized, not it be something that people can't just comfortably share. And then hopefully families don't just develop comfort around, but they develop the language, the practices to work on these things and to really equip these families with the tools that we learn as clinicians and hopefully give them to the families so that they can learn and just make this more commonplace.
Yes, you mentioned tool. And what has been the most, I would say, successful tool that you can share with us so that any other family that is listening might also be able to pick up?
Yeah, that's a great question. With families, I find that they always recognize one person, particularly most likely one of the children, to be the IP, the identified patient, the one that's like, all right, this is the issue, and we want you to fix the kid. Will come in the guise of family counseling, but in reality, they're thinking it's just, we want to help you, we need help solving the issues with our kid. So that's what families come in with.
Families.
But you recognize, and you're trying to teach and equip the families to recognize, hey, there are systems in place. There are communication issues. There are boundaries issues. There's triangulation, meaning relationship between two people and then maybe dedicated towards one kid, and different triangles in a family.
So basically, the family dynamics within the Korean community.
Yeah.
Well, for me, in the Latino community, it's very similar because family, it's one of our core values.
Yep.
So when we think of mental health, we don't just look at it as an individual. Like, for example, when I am working with let's say Anglo people, they focusing on themselves and careers, right? But when I speak with when I'm working with, let's say it could be a couple or a mother or a father, they're talking about themselves and the family as well. So that was one of the core values. So it makes us knowing that when we see that individual, we're looking at the whole family all at once as well.
For sure. And just seeing the need for therapy to just be more regular and commonplace amongst the Asian American households, it's so important, but also in marriage therapy. So a lot of people, if they're Asian Americans, they may grow up in different religious contexts and they may go through some form of premarital counseling, but a lot of them don't. And then what you're doing when you're doing counseling for a married couple, oftentimes you're doing catch up, where it's because they haven't discussed these issues in advance. They haven't discussed topics of finances. They haven't discussed topics of sex, discussing in-laws and all these other things. And they just assume that the other person, hey, if my spouse loves me, then they should believe and think in the same way that I do. When in reality, we all know that people will obviously have different backgrounds, different family of origins, and therefore have different just thoughts and expectations when they talk about family and marriage. So counseling then offers them the medium to discuss all these things, to put it out in the open so that, you know what, conflict is good, but let's make sure that we're able to address conflict properly and to be able to deal with it in a positive way.
Thank you, Sue. In my part of the world, in the Latino context, what we see is not only, we call it marriage, but in my part of the world, because we have other issues as well, meaning with, let's say, paper, also access to mental health, and also the language barrier. Those are the main topics. But now it's growing. Many more people are doing the acculturization for us, for the Latino. And there is not only the language, it's not only, oh, let me learn Spanish, but there's also a cultural background involving it. And I could see that there's a more positive attitude towards mental health. And there's so many efforts that it's being done to really reach my community, particularly here in Hudson River Care and Counseling Center, that Dr. Pan is very focused on, that we have many more other people from different languages. And that's important, that there is that voice and that people understand that they have choices as well. And that people, and I love it that it's not only individual counseling. We here also offer groups, small groups. There's so many other varieties, classes also, mental health classes for the community as well. So every month we're focusing on something extra besides one-on-one counseling that we can offer to our diverse community.
It's true. With Hudson River Care and Counseling, I've had the privilege of counseling people from various like ethnic backgrounds. So I've had the privilege of counseling to Latino men and women. And what's been great is the fact that in the very beginning sessions, I let them know, hey, I may not be familiar with all parts of your culture and how families work and marriages work, but what I'm so thankful for is that it's a time for me to be humble, to learn, and then still instill and share the counseling core concepts that, you know, because those are universal, but now understanding where people are coming from and their ethnic and cultural backgrounds, that's helping me as a clinician too. And in light of Minority Mental Health Month, it's like, wow, we get to really celebrate this, and we get to take part in becoming better clinicians through a diverse client base.
Thank you, Sue, for the work that you do, for your focus, and for giving back to your community. And thank you, you guys, for listening to us. And we love that you pay attention to your mental health, because mental health is wealth. And it's the new form of richness, because, I mean, if you're not well, if you don't have your thoughts together, if you don't have a sense of belonging, happiness, and all these things, then many of the other things don't make sense. So here we are to help you and support you. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Yudy and Sue, for sharing your words of wisdom. For anybody who is looking for the help they need that Yudy and Sue can provide over at Hudson River Caring Counseling, make sure you visit our friends there with the information that we have on the screen right next to me. Technology these days. All right, folks, join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.